Alrighty, everybody, how's it going? I haven't seen you in so long. I know it's been a while. You probably don't even recognize me. My name is Timothy, and I'm your dog trainer. Okay, totally, I'm just kidding. So, my name's Adam. I am your dog trainer. If this is your first time joining our little channel here, go ahead, smash that subscribe button you're going to see below, and join the conversation by entering any questions you might have in our live chat, which is an interactive way to talk to me directly. So this way, we can kind of get one-on-one, and I can help you exactly out with what your problems might be. I already have some people in the chat, so I appreciate you. I have all of 3 people watching. Fallout Girl, I don't know who you are, but I really like that name. Erica, I haven't had really a chance to talk to you at all. And then it looks like I left my note there. So yeah. What we're going to do is today we are just talking puppies. We're just talking puppies and basic necessities for puppies. Remember, everything we do on this channel is all about you guys educating yourselves. I encourage you to do your research, do your education, and educate your dog. The main theme that I tend to follow is education first before you expect your dog to know something. So what's the very first thing we always talk about when it comes to getting a new puppy? And that's always potty training. Always potty training. Yeah, I know, Erica, you finally got into one of these. So potty training, sorry, I'm adjusting. I did have a cat behind me. I guess Pickles left. Potty training is very challenging and can be very frustrating. And you have to remember one thing. Always remember this. What am I teaching my dog? All right. It's very simple. If I'm teaching my dog to go to the bathroom in the house by using products that encourage a dog going to the bathroom in the house, if you put a pad down on the ground, you're now teaching your dog, that's where I want you to go. You know what? Don't do it, because you're teaching them to go to the bathroom in the house. If you put a towel down or use a litter box, and yes, dogs do use litter boxes. Very common when you live in a big city that you live high up in a building and you don't want to, walk down 10 flights of stairs just to walk your dog. I get it. I do. Trust me. A litter box actually is the best opportunity or option for your dog in that scenario. I do not encourage anybody to use pads whatsoever because you're not teaching your dog anything. So let's talk about how do we do potty training. What is the best way to talk about potty training? What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a link right up there. You'll see it in the reshow, but there'll be a link right there. And that's going to be my Potty Training 101 link. And that kind of breaks down a little bit more in depth about potty training and a little bit more about what we need to do as humans to set our dogs up for success. Remember that. You have to set your dog up for success. So the main thing when it comes to potty training is going to be, you know what? Control the in, and you can control the out, I guess. Yeah. So don't leave food and water down all day long. Don't leave, your dog in an area where they can just eat, and then you can't keep track of 1, how much food they ate, 2, how much water they drank, and then 3, when do they need to go to the bathroom? You have to make an Excel spreadsheet, put it up there, make a spreadsheet, and keep track of when your dog's having accidents. And make sure the other part of that is pick up the dog food after about 10 or 15 minutes. Don't just let it sit out all day. Don't let your dog graze or free feed, as it's called, because you're encouraging your dog not to eat in one sitting. And then on top of that, you're letting them just slowly eat throughout the day. You're never going to be able to target a opportunity for how long it takes them to digest their food. All right. Very simple, very basic. But most people make their first mistake just by not doing those simple tasks. All right. Control the in. So basically, well, hold on. Basically, here's what you're going to do. You're going to portion off your dog's food, put it down with water, of course. Let it sit there for about 5-10 minutes, and then let your dog eat, and then let them see you pick the food up, put whatever's left over in the refrigerator, don't let it go bad. And then probably within 30 minutes, walk your dog again and see if they go to the bathroom. If they do, notate that on your spreadsheet. Then where the most people have the problem is the next potty break. Usually it's about an hour to 2 hours after a dog eats, they're going to have to go to the bathroom again. All right. So keep that in mind. If you work a 9 to 5, I wish I did. I don't. I work a noon to 9 crazy shift. But if you work a 9 to 5, don't feed your dog at 8:30 in the morning while you're rushing out the door to put the dog in the crate. They're going to have an accident. You're setting them up for failure. You have to get up a little bit early and feed your dog maybe at 6 a.m. to be able to walk them by 8 or 8:30. So this way they get everything out to set them up for success. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope so. Okay. So we got some people in the chat. We got Tim Blue, my buddy up from Jacksonville. Thank you for joining. Sherry's in here. Lourdes in here. Erica. I finally got on that. We already talked about that. So anyway, potty training really is the essential part of the first part of educating your dog. All right. That is what it is all about. If you do not teach them right off the bat, all right, that's number one. Keep track of it. Feed your dog, depending on the size of your dog, all right? So I kind of have this thing in the back of my head that I kind of keep. We'll start with bigger dogs. So if you have we'll go with a pit bull, all right, pit bull puppy, and that puppy is 10 weeks old, and he's growing like a banshee, like probably 4 to 5 pounds a week, maybe a month actually. Probably 4 to 5. Probably a week or so. So that dog's development is really quickly. You're going to feed that dog 3 to 4 times a day. So you're going to go 12 hours apart. So if you feed them at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night, 12 hours, and then you're going to give them half portions throughout the day. So a half portion 4 hours later, another half portion 4 hours later. So this way they need that protein to keep their energy up. Now, let's say you have a smaller dog. Someone mentioned they have a Chihuahua in the chat here. And so for a Chihuahua, you're going to have to feed them, depending on the age of the dog, as they go through the months, they need protein. They need, someone has a 3-pound Yorkie. All right. So we'll just small breed in general. When you're talking about the small dogs, you need to keep their iron levels up. So there's a product called NutriCal that I encourage everyone to get for anybody that has a small breed dog, for any dog under 5 pounds. And if it's a puppy under 5 pounds, no matter what age, you're going to need to get NutriCal, because that's going to help keep their sugar levels high, because those dogs become anemic very quickly because of the way that they digest food. Their energy levels go like this. You know how dogs tend to be like crazy and they go to sleep, then crazy, go to sleep, then crazy, go to sleep. So you want to keep that energy level at a constant solid. All right. So about a half hour before you feed them, you literally just put a little bit of stuff on your finger. It kind of looks like molasses. Sorry. Looks like molasses. And you let them just lick your finger. And that the sugar in there will kind of get their blood flow going, get their energy going, so they're able to digest the food. And it's kind of cool. Oh, wait, I have a question via phone. Oh, it's not a question. It was Amanda. So, okay, does that make sense to everybody? So when you're doing, when you're doing this, put a half hour before you eat, you want to feed them 5 times a day. All right. At 8 weeks old. And then every month you want to drop a feeding. All right. So if you're feeding them 5 times at 8 weeks, at 12 weeks, you're going to go to 4 times. At 16 weeks, you're going to go down to 3 times. And then et cetera, to where you're only feeding them 2 times a day. And you know what? It's even okay if you do 2.5. Normally, I recommend feeding 12 hours apart, just in general, because if you feed at 8 in the morning, your dog's gonna go to bed, go potty at 9:30. It's kind of in the back of your head. Same thing at nighttime. You feed in the morning, go to the bathroom at night, 8:30, 9:30. You kind of get that same dynamic. All right. Also very consistent with your dog in general, so it kind of keeps them on that stable. All right. So if you have a small breed dog, you're probably going to feed a little bit, more. So probably midday. Anything after 20 weeks old, you're going to feed a midday snack, which would be a half portion of their regular food quantity, with some NutriCal obviously prior, and then kind of just to keep that energy level up. So keep that in mind. Make your potty training sheet to shadow your food. All right, that kind of makes sense, and most people don't realize, they don't get it, that food equals potty. I don't know why, they just don't. All right, so potty is kind of like the number one thing we got to talk about. We are here live, by the way, so if this is your first time watching, go ahead, join our chat. Please subscribe to the channel if you have any questions about anything having to do potty training or crate training, which is my next segment we're going to talk about. I'm going to put a link right up there for crate training when you have a fearful dog. So that'll be right up there. You'll see that in the replay. All right, so let's talk about crates. Crates are so important to teach your dog. If you don't utilize a crate, then you're not teaching your dog kind of a sleep pattern. They need to have that consistent sleep pattern. All right. I love using crates. I think people that feel crate training is mean, they use human emotion when it comes to training a dog, and you can't do that when you're doing basic training. When you get to the advanced stuff, that's totally different, and that's when you're already taught them how to process, but you haven't taught them yet. So when you're doing crate training, you have to be very smart about it. Don't just throw a dog in the trait. In the trait. Did I really just say trait? Trait. Don't throw the dog in the trait. Don't do it. Don't throw the dog in the crate and then just close the door and walk away, because once again, what are you teaching your dog? You have to keep that in the back of your mind. Your dog's learning so much at such a small age. All right. What are you teaching your dog is a crate becomes not a happy place. We want to be happy when we're putting our dogs in there. And remember, how do dogs communicate? Body language, tone of voice, sense of smell. So let's use those to really encourage our dogs to have a positive interaction in that crate. All right, so let's go over to the chat here. I have that in another screen, so I'm sorry. I'm not cool that I can do it on both. So, okay. You have a puppy, 3 months or 3-pound Yorkie, and oh, I screwed that up. She's almost 4 and I feed her 6 p.m. That's okay. That's actually not too bad, because if you're feeding at 6 a.m., and then in the middle, that works out well. You're kind of, as long as you're hitting your potty spots, you're actually doing really good. All right. So that's really good. Travis is in here. Hey, what's going on? Erica, it says, great points, Adam. I always want to encourage you guys to be interactive with me. So if you have any questions, go ahead, write it in that chat, so this way I can see it. What kind of crates are good crates? Well, that's an excellent question. So there's about 4 or 5 different styles of crates that are out there. And I wish I had pictures that I can put up here like I would normally do on the regular show, but I can't because that camera is kaputty. So normal crates, you have a wire crate, which comes in several different kinds, but there's a wire crate, or otherwise known as a basket crate, or a crate kennel, either one. They come in different gauge wires depending on the breed that you have. Like if you have a larger breed, I recommend getting a higher grade gauge. So the steel wire is a little thicker, so they can't bite it or anything. So I'll get to how much room you need to give a dog. You give a puppy. That's a good question. So they have that. And then for smaller puppies, just a standard wire crate is perfect. Now, there's also a mesh crate, and those are kind of like travel crates. They have like fabric on the sides, and those really are just temporary. They're not meant for a permanent home. They're more of, if I'm traveling somewhere to go from point A to point B, and then if point B is a temporary location, or if it's like you're camping or you're going to the beach or whatever, that's where you would keep the dog in one of those, because they are not permanent. Cloth sides, dogs tend to be able to scratch out of them after a while. And I just got a mosquito bite on my side. Welcome to Florida. Hope I don't get Zika. Is that a thing this year? Is Zika a thing? I hope not. I hope that's over with. So then the last one is a travel crate. So they're a hard plastic crate with plastic all around, very, very closed off. when you use one of those kind of crates, those are meant for driving in the car. Those are meant for flying with your dog. So they go into storage and you fly with them. They are safe and solid and secure in one of those. I actually encourage people to really utilize those for coming and going from class, or get one that's the right size for your dog, because you can really go to the vet a lot. You're going to be doing a lot of that within their first year. So you want to get ones a decent size. And also, I mean, I have a small car, so obviously I'm not going to get a big crate for my car because I have a Mini Cooper. So I'd rather get one smaller. And yeah, so follow your kind of instinct on that when it comes with a travel crate to go to the vet or go to dog training classes. Always good in your car to have something secure. And I'll actually put a link up here to a really cool thing that is, I did a video about a seatbelt leash. So I'll add that up there on the replay. Why are people dropping off? Am I getting boring? I hope not. So in your crate, in whatever size crate you use, you want to be able to give your dog probably about 3/4 space dog, 1/4 space stretch. All right. So your dog should be able to lay down, circle themselves, and sit up properly. There probably will be, you know, say you have that 3-pound Yorkie, that dog's this big, so you really only need a crate that big. Give you an idea. That's all the space you really need to add. Dogs are, by instinct, they are denning animals. As you know, they come from the derivative of wolves. It's been bred out of them for years and generations, but they still have that instinct for wanting to sleep in a small place. So don't be afraid to put your dog in a crate. And everyone's like, oh, but he doesn't like it. And then I always ask them, did you have a conversation with your dog about that? And they kind of just shut down. All right. Remember, how do you know that? You don't know unless your dog is freaking out in the crate. And that's going to need some more training, obviously, which is the very last thing we're going to talk about. But that's all the room you should have. Your dog should be able to fit. Think of it as 3 segments in the crate. 2 of those segments are going to be dog. The last segment's going to be space. All right. Never, ever, ever give food or water to your dog in a crate unless it's required by travel for flights and stuff. Never, ever, ever give food or water in your crate unless otherwise predetermined through a training advice or whatever, this, that, or the other. I know there are some people in the chat that give their dogs food in the crate, and that's okay in their situation. But for your everyday mom and pop that's just bringing home a puppy for a family, don't feed them in the crate. That's a big, huge issue. All right. So let's move on to toys. Toys are, I have toys here. I have toys here. I have toys everywhere. Toys here. Toys here. I don't know. I thought I was supposed to give this to somebody, and I don't remember who it was. So I have toys, chew toys. You can never have too many chew toys in your life. Here's another one. Chew toys, and then I actually have 1,000 of these. Kong really sent me a whole metric ton of Kongs. I have every color under the sun, Kongs. And then this is my Ewok. Yeah, that's actually my cat's toy. They love it. So yes, me. See, I thought I was supposed to give it to somebody, but I wasn't sure. So okay, I will bring that to you. Yeah, your next class, and I'll give it to you. So let's talk about toys. All right, let me line these all up. Yeah, that's not gonna. Yeah, let me put that up. All right, so let's talk toy talk. So when you're talking toy talk, we need to be interactive. We need to engage our dog's mind. We want to teach them to think. All right, we want them to accomplish a task. That sounds like, what do you mean accomplish a task? What, my dog's going to read a book? They're going to write an essay for me? Are they going to pay my bills? That's what most people want to know. And the answer to all those questions is no, they are not. Because I didn't pay a bill till I was like, well, last week. That was yeah, pretty much. So you want them to perform a task, or you want to educate them on something. I have a fly. That's the mosquito. Oh, wait, mosquito. Maybe I know he's gone. So something like this, or something like this. These are Kongs. This is a really good pet edge toy. You know, what am I teaching my dog when I'm giving them something like this? Well, this is a chew toy that they can chew on. It sounds just like a water bottle, right? You can hear that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty innovative. But I want to do something else. Why are dogs chewing at that age? So we're going to put this to the question to the chat. We got about 7, 8 people in there right now. Why do dogs chew between 12 weeks and 17 weeks old? Why do they chew? And I'm going to go into while these are my favorites. That's the answer in the chat. And so if you know the answer, do an X1 in the chat, and then I will call you out on it. All right. Or just answer the question, either one. So why do dogs chew like a little banshee on everything in the house? One of the most important things you got to remember when you're dealing with dogs that are chewing is to clean up your floor. Make sure you're getting down on the dog's level. And if you have a small dog, like a little Chihuahua, like one girl has a Yorkie, I'm so sorry, but you're getting your head down on the ground. Hopefully you vacuum, and you're looking for everything around your house, wires, cords, get it up off the ground, get everything up. Erica says they're bored. Sherry says teething. Cherie says teething. I'm going to tell you it's a combination of both, actually. Good job, guys or ladies. And so, wow, I need to really shave some more, don't I? You like this look? Do you like the clean face? I feel like a baby. So get your face down there, look under your couches, look under everywhere, because 9 times out of 10, your dog is going to find something you forgot was on the floor, chew it, ingest it, and you won't even know it. And then it could lead to serious issues down the line. All right. Make sure you really are cautious about it. And it's kind of like what we baby proof our house for little kids. We have to baby proof our house for puppies. You have to. If you don't, you are just setting yourself up for failure and not teaching your dog anything. All right. All right. So what can you do to teach your dog something with one of these? Well, the reason why dogs are chewing between that age, and the answer is, if I had a drum roll, I would add a drum roll right here. It is because of teething. Their face hurts, their teeth hurt, and all those molars are coming in. So as those molars are, I need Kong stuff. My buddy Tim, give me Kong stuff. Why do you need, Tim? You want Kong stuff? All right. Well, I'll make that happen. So why do dogs' mouths hurt? Because they're teething. They just had their puppy teeth come in by 8 weeks. So think about this. No one ever really thinks about this. So in a matter of probably from 7 weeks, or we'll say 6 weeks. We'll go with 6 weeks. So at 6 weeks, their first set of teeth, their baby teeth, are starting to come through and should all basically be out. In the time from 6 weeks to another month and a half later, and we'll say 14 to 18 weeks, all right, they are now teething again. So now their adult teeth are coming in by the time they're 20 weeks old. So in just 10 or 12 weeks, 3 months, they're going through 2 teething cycles. That's horrible on a puppy. And think about how much like that hurts their mouths. So that also has to do with training and distraction and all sorts of stuff. So what can I teach my dog? Well, instead of chewing on everything in the store or everything on the floor, did I say store? I meant on the floor. What I want you to do is engage them and tell them it's okay to teach or okay to chew on this. Now, this right here is a thing that you can put peanut butter in and chicken broth in the inside. Wow, I just dropped that. And freeze it. Numb the dog's mouth. They're gonna love you for it so much more, because they're gonna sit and gnaw on this for hours. I need Kong stuff. Too funny. So they're going to gnaw on this literally for hours. Same thing with a Kong. Fill it, put water in it. I don't care what you do, but make it so you're helping your dog. Don't just assume that, oh, my dog is just chewing on everything, is a horrible chewer. Well, every dog is a horrible chewer between 20 weeks and 10 weeks. Every single dog is a horrible chewer, and they are teething horribly, and everyone forgets that. They think, oh, my dog just eats everything in the house. Well, are you giving them tools? Are you showing them what is okay for them to chew on? Are you setting them up for success when it comes to teething and stuff like Kongs, stuff like chew toys, stuff like these things? Hey, buddy, I would probably put you on my, I would just, let me see if I can just get you to chill right there. I would totally give you stuff like my little Ewok here who's chilling on my shoulder. What's up, buddy? So these are things that are proactively helping your dog. Now, what would be a negative thing that you can do is whenever your dog's chewing on something, you just take it away and put them in their crate. Those are things we're talking about when we're talking about negative reinforcement. You are not teaching your dog anything other than don't chew on things in front of you. Remember that. What am I teaching my dog? They don't know that this was a bad thing to chew on. They don't understand that your socks were a bad thing to chew on. They don't get it. All right. So in the chat, here's a question for you. I'm going to run and get water. Here's a question for you. What is your favorite dog treats? We're going to talk treats now. No more of this. We are now moving on to puppy treats. Stay right there. I need to get a drink because my throat is killing me. Yep, stay right there. So in the chat, what are your kind of treat? Well, what do you think about bones you can freeze? That's fine. That's actually same thing. Here's a bone, freeze it. Why not? All right. Chicken jerky or puppy crack? I shouldn't be. You can answer these questions. You're fine. You're allowed. I tried a Kong and I think she didn't like it. She kicked it. She just kicked it inside, or licked it inside. Well, that's fine. Why don't you change what you're putting inside the Kong instead of using a different Kong? There's all different styles of Kongs you can use. So I would recommend doing something along the lines of maybe going to something like this, which has that sound, which might be a satisfaction thing that they like. And there's a smaller version of this, by the way. This is the small. There's actually a tiny version in this, so it's a little bit smaller. But you would use this size Kong and maybe dunk it in chicken broth and put it in the freezer and see if that helps your puppy. Natural Balance Lamb. That's from Stitch One. I know who that is. My favorite kind of treats happen to be Bill Jack, Little Jack treats. And then also I like Natural Balance treat logs or food logs, otherwise known as puppy crack, which is something I've coined the phrase 10 years ago, and I love it. Erica retracted her message. I don't know why. I like the lamb meatballs. Those are good. Sorry. Okay. Greenies in the morning. Okay. How old is your puppy? I'm going to ask you that. You actually did a really good thing that most pet parents do. I'm going to ask you, how old is your puppy that you're giving greenies to in the morning? And man, that's got to be expensive because greenies are no joke. They're super expensive. Natural Balance logs. Yes, Erica, that is one of the things I use in class. Probably 50 to 60% is Natural Balance logs. otherwise known as puppy crack. Yes, that's why puppies love that stuff. And what I tend to do with puppy crack, just so you know, I get a monstrous log, one of the big logs, and then I'll take it, and you'll see there's like it's a 12-inch puppy log or thing, and then I will take it and slice it on the inch lines, and then take Ziploc bags and put them in the refrigerator so they don't go bad. All right. So let me go back. She loves greenies in the morning. She is 4 months old next week. And you have if I'm not mistaken, it is a Yorkie that's like this big, right? Make sure I'm correct with you before I give you my response to giving greenies in the morning. Not okay. She says yes. Now, Erica is a dog trainer, and a lot of my students are on here, and I'm going to tell you, you're wasting your money. Okay, don't give your dog any, none, zero, zip. Don't give your dog any dental chews until they are at least a year old. Look at the packaging on the greenies, and I'm sure it says do not give this to any dog less than 7 or 10 months old. I don't remember exactly what their age bracket is for the smaller breeds. I think it's 7 months for the smaller breeds. Maybe Erica can reinforce that. But I do think it's 7 months for the smaller breeds. Now, 2 reasons. One, you're wasting your money. All right. Because the teeth that you're trying to keep clean and sparkly, they're just going to fall out. All right. 2, they can't digest it yet. Those are products that are really, their stomach acids aren't built up enough. I bet your dog probably has kind of a greenish tint in their poopies. You do not want to give puppies any kind of chew toy that is a dental cleaning chew toy at a young age. Hold, please. I'm just going to go refill my water. Water in the mouth. Very good. Alrighty. So sorry about that. My throat, I've literally been talking for 35 minutes straight, and my throat is getting crazy, gnarly dried out. So does that make sense? You do not want to give greenies to a small breed puppy. All right. Does that sound good? I think I lost some people when I ran off, but I'm sorry. Ooh, on a Yeti cup. Yep, that's a Yeti cup right there. Yeti. A little logoing. Kind of cool. Love it. Well, there goes more. No, that doesn't mean you have to get rid of her morning treat. That means you believe it's 8 months. Okay, so I wasn't sure exactly. I think maybe you're right. 7 to 8, somewhere in that range. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of a treat. Just find another treat that she likes, because it can't just be greenies. And second of all is that they're super expensive. Let me put this guy back up on my shoulder. Greenies are like hardcore expensive. You're talking $40 for a pack of like 30 or 40 of those things. Crazy expensive. What's up, piggies? My cat's looking at me. Where can I put this now? I have no space. Come on. That's my cat, Mr. Pickles. This is his bed. Come on, lay down. Yes, I have trained my cats, and people make fun of me. They're like, no, cats can't be trained. Well, you just saw my cat is trained. All right. Come on, lay down. Good boy. So, any questions about that? So, yeah, teething and treats. I'm going to tell you, we get these on Amazon, 2 big bags for 20. That's a good price. That's a really good price for 22 bucks, but I'd rather you get something that's going to teach your dog at that age. Get one of these, have like 4 or 5 of these lined up, and just recycle them. Use them every day, and make them something like this, which is going to numb her mouth, whereas a greenie just gets crap all over her mouth. And now I have cat hair stuck to my newly shaved face. Okay, so let's talk about the most important thing you need to do with your dog. The number one thing, and Pickles is back here grooming himself. What are you doing? What are you doing? And Murphy's on the floor over there. So the most important thing, and I'm going to leave this to the chat. What is the most important thing you need to do with your dog while I'm going to pet Pickles here? He's watching himself. That's really awkward. Look at that. You can see he's like staring at the camera. What are you looking at? You don't even know. Wait. As I die, what is the most important thing you need to do with your dog? I'm going to leave that in the chat. I'm waiting for you guys to respond. Yes, and Mr. Pickles is cool. Also, I have Murphy, who is my rescue dog. Oh, answer the ear thing while we're waiting. Okay, so a quick question from the texting world. For those of you that have my direct phone number, you get kind of that extra service, I guess. So in here on my phone, there was a question about how to clean your dog's ears. All right. Main thing is you need to get ear wipes that you can find at any of your local store, and really get in there and it's kind of common sense. Not saying, Amanda, that that's anything wrong that you're doing, but you want to probably use some tea tree oil, and they have a mix you can buy at the store that is a tea tree aloe vera mix. And then you put that on a cotton swab and just rub it around their ears. There is stuff, what ends up happening in the summertime, dogs tend to get bacteria build up in there, especially in the more humid climates. And that leads to ear infections, which then causes sinus issues. And if you notice your dog having a lot amount of those eye boogers, a lot of times it's because they have a lot of ear infection things going on. Play with them, potty training. No, you guys are wrong. Wrong. Keep thinking. Keep going. But yeah, there's some stuff, and I'll send you a picture of it tomorrow when I get to the store. It is a tea tree oil ear cleaner that is all natural. Of course, it's what you want to use. It is a natural tea tree oil, and tea tree oil kills ear mites. So in case that it is ear mites, you can flush their ear out, and it will clean it out that way. For now, what you want to do is pretty much just take a wet wipe, if you have a nice gentle wet wipe, and just clean the inside of their ear out and get all the gook out. But be very careful. Don't take a Q-tip and stick that directly into their ear, because if you use a Q-tip, you can actually break their eardrums, and that's kind of a problem. How do you know if you wipe too? Your dog will flinch. It's a good question, though. Your dog will flinch if you go too deep. I usually just kind of go add, like, you know where the Q-tip part is, add another little Q-tip and hold it there, and just do that way, and then get in there around, and then use the cotton ball and the swab to really get all the stuff out. Does it also work for yeast infections? That I would actually recommend. That's two things. Yeast infections have to do with a lot of wheat and corn and soy in a dog's diet. That's one. Yay, the winner. Training obedience is correct. Train your dog. Go to dog training classes. So we do have the answer, but let me get back. I'll get right back to you, by the way. Yeast is caused from a buildup of, I mean, think about it. How do we make beer? We make yeast from what? Barley and hops. That's how you create beer. You create yeast. So it's a combination of food, allergies, and probably some sort of lower grade food you're feeding. I would change that to an all natural grain free formula. Not specifically saying any one or another, just something grain free. I would also make sure that if they do get a lot of yeast infections, it depends where the yeast infection is. I would talk and consult to a vet, and they would give you an antibiotic on top of that that will help with a lot of those yeast infections clear up. Blue Buffalo is an excellent food, by the way. Personally, I like their grain-free Freedom line. That is my favorite out of their complete line. It's one of my most recommended foods. I like to keep that because that one is a grain-free formula, but not too boosted in protein. I don't want to boost too much protein because that's really heavy on their kidneys. So I try to keep it a little bit less, a little down a little bit. So anyway, the answer to the question is dog training classes. Yes, that was such a loaded question. How can you not know that? Dog training, where did I put my drink? Dog training question. Dog training is the answer to that question. Is that a picture of Claire? Where? Oh, up here? Yeah, that is Claire. So that's a good catch, by the way. That's pretty good. And there's Claire. That's Murphy. That's also Murphy. That's Chloe. She's kind of the mascot of the channel. I have her on the front. That's Yeti. That's Luca. And there's Murphy again. So, yes, dog training is the most essential thing because you need to teach your dog and you need to learn from your dog. It goes both ways. If you don't have that line of communication between you and your dog, that's my grandpa's dog. Oh, okay. If you don't have that line of communication between you and your pet is never going to be able to communicate back. That's what training does. Training will teach you, just like you went to school, we go to school, dogs go to school. That will teach you to have that balance in your life. Now, is your dog going to be a perfect dog at the end of training classes? No, of course not. It is not about that. Okay. Is your dog going to be a service dog at the end of training classes? Maybe after a year or two, that's a possibility. But mainly it's about teaching your dog basic understanding and basic communication and what your expectations are. All right. So what kind of requirements in terms of health do trainers require? Well, you know what? I require first and second round of shots. I usually don't. My company requires first round, but I actually like first and second round. Usually, you want to make sure they have their shots up to date. Kind of before you want to get them in before the first classes. You want to get in before the dog gets fixed. Second round of classes right after the dog is fixed. You usually want to do 12 to 14 weeks of training classes. I also recommend doing some private one-on-ones so you can answer some more in-depth questions with your trainer. That's about it. I mean, there's really nothing more simple than that. Just make sure your shots are up to date. Go to your local stores. Go, you don't have to pay $1,000 to have a trainer come help you. You can go to the local big box stores and they do it for $100. And there's that Rasky mosquito. I'm going to get you. Wow. No, he's gone. So yeah, really just just go ask questions. Go to your neighborhood Petco, PetSmart, any of those. They have trainers there and talk to them and find out. The trainers at those stores are so underutilized, and they are great trainers. And, you know, what do you think about agility training? I actually do agility training, by the way. And agility training is tons of fun, but you have to wait till your dog really understands the basics foundation skills. All right. I'm not going to answer that question, Petco versus PetSmart. Sorry. I politically, I will not. If someone in the chat wants to answer where I work, feel free. I'm going to tell you, though, I have no ill will against either company. They both are doing the same exact thing, and they both are training on a level that is so, so huge. Both companies are trying to help you and your dog get along with other dogs and humans. So I'm just, I can't really go there. So, and the people in the chat know what I'm talking about. So there. But agility is really all about your basic understanding and the knowledge your dog already has those locked in. I wouldn't waste your money doing an agility class with a dog less than a year old, and that has not been through a basic, intermediate, and an advanced training course prior to doing an agility class. Now, you can do a basic intro to agility just to get an understanding so you know how to set yourself up for success. The minimum age for basic training, usually between 8 and 10 weeks. And you kind of want to do a class, 8 to 10 weeks is the good time. Your dog is 4 months old, if I'm not mistaken, and that would be fine. You know, you can do a puppy class right now, and your dog will be outstanding in it. And enjoy it. Embrace that life that is dog training. Go to the play times. Go to all those things that they have to offer at wherever you're going to go. Thanks for throwing that out there, by the way, where I work. I'm not going to say it because this is going to rebroadcast. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, basic training, no matter where you go, is essential between you and your pet. Financially, I go somewhere a little bit cheaper. Doesn't mean you're going to get bad training because it doesn't cost much. My students will be the first ones to tell you that. And, you know, it's a great thing. Alrighty, so with that said, I'm going to sign off because I've been chatting for 50 minutes straight. This is our longest live chat yet. So I'm going to do this again next week. We're going to have puppy chat, and we'll talk a little more about next week. We'll dive a little more into some other things. If you do have any questions, please go ahead, leave a comment below. The question of the day, we'll go with the comment of the day. We're going to be is your dog in training? And if so, are you being successful? And how? All right. We're going to, oh, got him. Yes, score. Got him, little brat. So is your dog being successful, and are you being successful in dog training, and or are you doing training? And do you feel that dog training is good for you? I'm going to tell you that 90% of the people that comment on that will say, yes, it is an essential thing. So go ahead, leave that comment below. Let me know how your training is working for you. Also, thank you for watching. Please go ahead, smash that subscribe button so you can get notifications on our next live chats that we do, which we do 2 a week. Usually I do them on Saturday nights, is live chat with Adam. Now I got him officially. Yes, there he is. Those of you, you can't see him because the lights. Got him, little brat. We do live chat with Adam every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to start doing this puppy chat, which is just a whatever. I know I finally got the mosquito, which is just a whatever you need help with. I'm going to do this every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. As you see, we had a blast tonight. I want to thank everyone in the chat for joining, and I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment below. If you do want to subscribe, go ahead, hit that button right there. You're going to see that pop up. Please go ahead, hit that button, subscribe to get notifications in regards to our next live chat that we do. Also, any videos that will be coming down the line. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, go walk your dog. Have a good night, everybody.